Our whole lives are not always directly affected by how we grow up, but it is always how we grow up that shapes us into who we are. Sometimes I stop and think that God chose me for many reasons. Sometimes I stop and thank God that He chose me. He blessed me with the opportunity to live diversely and to see many things that allowed me to embrace my identity as an educated black woman from everywhere. I can remember every move my family made from the time I attended Morningside Elementary until I was finally able to complete more than 2 consecutive grades at any school. From Massachusetts to North Carolina and back 2 more times until we finally chose North Carolina to be our home. But that wouldn't be our last time moving either. I went to 4 different schools in 3rd grade. I particularly remember the 2 I went to for a week when we made the final move to North Carolina. I attended 2 schools in Pittsfield, Mass. On opposite sides of town for a week, and then we moved to Spring Lake, North Carolina, where I attended 1 week at another no-name school, then off to another city it was. I went to 3 different schools between 6th grade and 7th grade, 2 of which I wish I could have stayed, and thankfully the other I was able to. All of the moving and changing schools could have gone both ways. I could have given up trying to hop in right in with the curriculum. I could have given up trying to make friends. I could have given up my natural tendency to truly enjoy school, but I didn't. I did not give up. In fact, every time I went to a new school, especially in new cities, I made sure I answered questions in class. I made sure to talk with correct grammar so everyone knew that I was educated and on the right level. I made sure to be nice and make friends because I had to enjoy the time I was given at these temporary places. Being an extrovert worked to my advantage and disadvantage. I was and will always be a social person. However, being a child from Massachusetts moving to North Carolina, where life is very different, putting myself out there made it easy to see that I was different. Many of the schools I went to were not in particularly good neighborhoods, so when I tried to make friends with other black kids, I always heard the same things. You act white. Why you talk so white? You talk so proper. You think you're better than everyone else. It has always been to my advantage that I enjoyed class and participating, so the teachers enjoyed me in class because I would always raise my hand and be engaged in discussion and activities no matter what school I was attending. When I was younger, I was under the impression that it was a negative thing to be black and educated. So when I finally made it to my last school move, my second school of 7th grade, Williston Middle School in Wilmington, North Carolina, this was the last school move until the transition from middle to high school. Until this point, I had only a few encounters with blacks who thought other blacks weren't supposed to be educated. But here, under some unwritten rule, not only could you not speak intelligently, but you could not be the new girl, be somewhat attractive and friendly. Unlike any other situation, I had no clue what to do. Being an extrovert would get me nowhere, unless the 7th graders at Williston. I remember of one of my first days at the school in gym class. I was bum rushed by a group of girls asking me the same series of questions. Why you act white? Why you talk so white? Why you talk so proper? You think you better than everybody else? I had no idea what it meant to talk white. I had no idea what it meant to talk proper. I only knew that I did not want to be singled out. As a result, sometimes I would dumb myself down just to belong to the crowd. During my time at Williston, I was put into the advanced classes, being one of 4 blacks in a classroom of 25. That made it even harder to become a part of my new community. Somehow I made it through the rest of 7th grade and all of 8th grade with all of my knowledge and a few friends, but then high school was another story. Immediately, I was put into AVID, Advancement via Individual Determination, a national program, and around other students, mostly black, that had the same drive as me. The program was centered around minorities and students who were just above the sinking line, the line between all C's and failing to improve and make it to college. I made it through high school being involved with honor societies, sports, and having friends, but senior awards night took the cake. Senior awards night blew all of that uneducated black's mess out of my sight so I could see clearly that I really was moving in the right path. Senior awards night, bittersweet. It was so exciting to be in one place with your entire graduating class and being able to dress up and all that jazz. But it was sad to know this was the second to last time that would be happening. As we, the class of 2011, filed into the dimly lit auditorium of one of the most historical and most beautiful venues in Wilmington's downtown area, I blindly prepared for a night of recognition. The first one was surprising, the second one was amazing, the third one was shocking, and the list goes on. We would like to present this next scholarship award to a lady of dignity, determination, professionalism, sophistication, and intelligence, who I heard from so many is more than deserving of this scholarship. They told me earlier that you were so charismatic and school-spirited and that there was no one else they would rather give this award to. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Krishana Jackson to the stage. This was Miguel Bordeaux, the alumni of New Hanover High School, who awarded me with the class of 1990 scholarship. I didn't know, and my mother surely didn't know, that I was receiving this award from my high school, New Hanover High School. So we were both in utter shock, especially because I had won 3 awards prior to this one, and I knew I had a few more to go. I can still hear the shrill of my mother's voice when they called my name. I remember walking up on that stage and hearing everyone in the crowd with genuine happiness cheering me on. To this day, this is one of my most proud moments. That night I walked away with not only the most awards out of everyone, but I walked out of there with more awards than any other black female. And that is when I knew that I would never be a part of that stereotype of the uneducated black person. I would never be a part of the group that I was supposed to belong to according to society and the 7th graders at Williston. Here I began to embrace not only my ethnicity, but my circumstance and my ability as well. God truly blessed me with these 3 things: ethnicity, circumstance, and ability. I have not always been in touch with my ethnicity, but I am now. I have not always been accepting of my life circumstances, but I am now. I was not always aware of my abilities, but I am now. After all of the great things that happened to me in high school, I knew college was going to be amazing. I was blessed to attend Rutgers University my freshman year. Here I was molded into the woman I am today. I immediately got involved with Douglass College, a college inside of the university for only women, who taught us the importance of education, identity, and reality. I held leadership positions, I made outstanding grades, I traveled, I loved, and I learned. The biggest lesson thus far in my life is that it doesn't matter where you came from, who you were supposed to be, how you were supposed to live. It just matters that you embrace everything and use it to your advantage in order to advance.